What is up, guys? First, I just want to say thank you to everyone that already subscribed to me and watched my previous videos. It really means a lot and it keeps me motivated to make more videos in the future. If you do enjoy my type of content, please don't forget to leave a like on this video as well, and also hit the subscribe button so that you'll know when I upload. With that being said, let's move into this week's episode as we have quite a few things to cover. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is Riot's design team attending PAX on the previous weekend. They showcased a ton of new cards as well as explaining some of the new game mechanics that will be introduced with the upcoming set Spiritforged. Then they also showcased their timeline for the upcoming sets in 2026 and finally announcing that they plan on joining the release dates with China around the third set of the next year. The biggest thing they also revealed was a plan for competitive events in the following few months. Personally, I'm the most excited for Bologna in February, as it will be the first big event I'll have the ability to attend, as well as it happening right after the release of Spiritforged here in the West. I won't go into too much detail about everything, but if you haven't seen the stream, I highly recommend taking a look, as it might have some useful information for anyone planning to keep on playing the game. Now I want to take some time to discuss the meta and how it appears to be going in a similar direction here in the West as it was in China. The Chinese meta is still the same, of course, with Kai'Sa being even more dominating, taking 50% of the top spots in the previous week. Master Yi is still the second most represented deck, however, there is a huge fall in his top cut representation, being all the way down at 17.5%. We also see Annie getting some more attention, as well as a topping Leona deck. Again, China is very close to the release of the new set, so we'll have to see how much it impacts and changes the meta for them. However, if we look at the way the meta is developing in the West, we also see some other contenders entering the top cuts with a pretty strong showing. First, let's take a look at the Star City Games tournament with 386 players. Kai'Sa again took a huge 50% chunk in the top cut. However, Annie, Set, and Teemo all managed to get in as well, showing a very good performance. I believe the tournament was held in only one day, so the top 4 was split due to time issues. However, very noteworthy, not a single Master Yi or Victor deck made it into the top 8. Then we also had the 257 player CCS Atlanta tournament, where Kai'Sa again took a 50% cut of the top 16. However, the entire thing was won by Challenger TCG's Colin Kaiser, piloting the set deck you see on screen right now. I want to take note here that this deck seems quite a bit different than most set decks, opting to cut the orange set completely out of the main board, as well as playing 3 of the yellow is a very interesting choice. Challenger TCG also made a very good recap video of their experience at the event, and I highly recommend you check that out as well. While we're at the topic of the tournaments held in the past week, we also have to address the cheating allegations that happened against a certain player during the weekend that managed to get a top 4 spot in one of the mentioned tournaments. I will not go into too much detail as you have most likely seen everything that happened. Personally, I just want to say that I don't believe the mistakes were happening intentionally, regardless of how bad it might seem. However, I do want to say that I would personally feel awful knowing I got eliminated from the race for top cut because someone made a mistake that allowed him to have an advantage and knocked me out of the tournament. One thing I want you guys to understand is if you are new to TCGs, regardless of the relationship you might have with people, you cannot allow them to get away with cheating, and be very aware of the game you're in, as people will take advantage of you if you aren't. Cheaters are a part of every game or sport, and while the previously mentioned example might not be someone intentionally cheating, it is still important in my opinion that sloppy plays don't go unchecked and without any consequences. If every time someone makes a mistake gets written off, they will make mistakes more often, and sometimes they will intentionally misplay just because they can get away with it. I don't want to dwell deeper into this topic anymore. Just remember to keep an eye out on your opponent while you're playing the game. With that being said, let's check into some more new cards that were recently revealed. Now let's take a quick look at some Spiritforged reveals we got over the last 2 weeks. If you haven't looked at the gallery, I highly recommend you check out some of the powerful new cards they're giving us in the next set. The way it seems right now, I believe the 2 best decks to look out for in Spiritforged will be Ornn and Irelia, as well as Draven and Ezreal appearing to have quite a lot of potential. Personally, I'm the most excited for Draven and Ornn, and I cannot wait for the set to drop in China and see how the new cards will perform against our current top contenders. Quite a lot of the set is still not revealed, so my opinions might change in the future as well, but for now, like I said, Ornn and Irelia seem to be the most interesting when it comes to meta. I do also want to tell you guys I will be making a video soon on the best cards you should get from Origins, before the new set drops in China, as they will likely be implemented in the meta and might have their prices spike up quite a bit. If you are interested in seeing that, please consider subscribing to the channel to know when the video will get posted. There's one last thing I want to talk about, and that is going to be the Houston Regionals happening the next weekend, and I hope you guys are going to be able to attend it, because I think there's going to be a lot new information about Spiritforged there as well. If you're a fan of the game but aren't going to play the actual event, I highly recommend at least getting the spectator badge to be able to get into the event hall, as I am almost certain they will have some more previews for Spiritforged. I assume there will also be vendors with a ton of merch you might want to pick up, as well as cards you might need to play side events, collect, or consider investing into. If you haven't been to big events such as this one yet, this is the perfect opportunity to start and see how everything looks. I know I am always very excited about these events, as they are always a blast if you attend them with your friends. I am specifically excited about the event in Bologna I will be attending, and hopefully the one in Houston will have a big player showing so that Riot sees these events are a crucial part to keep the game exciting and competitive. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this week's episode of Riftbound Recap. Again, as I said at the beginning, thank you everyone who already subscribed to my channel, as it helps keep me motivated to make more videos in the future. If you did enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you have not already, so that you'll know when I post more videos like this one. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will be seeing you very, very soon.